Vegas Golden Knights win 4-2 against the Columbus Blue Jackets. And yet, that game still kind of sucked for two reasons. One, and most importantly, Adin Hill gets injured in this game. And I understand there's a goalie controversy right now.
Again? Freaking again?
Because Logan Thompson's been playing better, and yet they're getting like an even distribution of games, even though Hill's getting more until literally... Anyway, the problem is even if you don't like Hill and you're a member of this fan base, it's extremely detrimental to have the drop off between your second goalie from Hill to Patera. Experience-wise, and in my opinion at this point, skill-wise as well, Adin Hill, even if you are arguing that he's just a backup or whatever, we need him. Because Logan Thompson also has gotten injured a couple of different times in the last couple of years, and that's scary. So hopefully when we pulled him in the third period, he made a routine save and it looked like fine. He skated off, and it was during no play. Like he waited until the whistle and then went off, and that's just concerning. I really hope it was just, why can't I think of the word? Cautious. Why can't I think of the word? Can't think of it. But hopefully it was just to help us, you know, just in case or whatever, make sure that he's good, because we need him in the lineup. Secondly, wow, that was a long first. That first period stunk. One of the most embarrassing periods of the entire season, and we only came out of it 1-0. The Columbus outplayed us up and down the lineup, and they are a far worse team than us, and that should not have been as dominant. Our top line of Eichel, Barbashev, and Marchessault got hemmed in defensively. Against this team, they should be running the show on any one of their lines, but unfortunately that didn't happen, and so Cassidy in first intermission put the lines in a complete blender, and yeah, it was good. After, when they came out in the second period, Vegas ran the show with Columbus, and they just kept going in. Nick Waugh wins the faceoff. Ivan Barbashev shoots it, collects his own rebound, buries it past Tarasov, tie game 1-1. Then, in transition, Eichel comes in, passes the puck back to Stevenson, sends it back to Whitecloud on the point, slaps it home. Not home. Off the goalie, save, and plopped right in front of Eichel like a gift. He winds up, shoots it, goes perfectly in between the outstretched arm and pad of Tarasov to go in the back of the net. 2-1 Vegas immediately in the second period. Fantastic energy. They were relentless. They did not give up. Those are the same thing. And Vegas just continued to pile on the rest of the period, even though the score didn't change. We outshot our own first period by double in the first 10 minutes of the second period. 8 to then 24 shots, so like 15 by halfway point. But Jack Eichel's 500th career NHL point among active American-born players. That is 5th in the league, which you could argue if he didn't need to have the whole neck surgery thing, fusion would have been worse. And 2 years ago when he was playing with a broken hand, the second half of the season when we missed the playoffs, you know, if he hadn't played those games and actually sat out, and you could argue that he would have been second, because the gap between him and Tkachuk, who was second, is only 7 games. And in the third period, they come out with the same energy. Pavel Dorofeev off of a great feed from Theodore. I say that to try to like give Theodore, hey, he got an assist again, because all he's been doing since he's come back is get assists every game. Dorofeev's hands were absolute filth. He outdangled Tarasov and Provorov to bury this puck in the back of the net while falling to the ground for an amazing goal. 3-1 Vegas. It's at this point that I start paying attention to a different game. The Kings and Lightning were playing, and the Kings were up 3-1. And I saw that Tampa was on a power play. I had both feeds on at the same time. Tampa Bay on the power play with like 5 minutes left to go, and Stamkos absolutely rips it, and great on the last second of the power play. They pulled Vasilevsky at like 2:48, which is really early in my head, which might be just because I'm a Vegas fan, because I remember when we played against Seattle, we didn't pull Hill until the last like minute and 15 seconds when we had an opportunity to with an offensive zone draw with around that amount of time. We got hemmed into our own zone, we pulled Hill at 1:15. We ended up scoring on it anyway, so that's great. And I'm watching both games, and first, Tampa Bay Steven Stamkos again scores, tie game with like 30 seconds left to go. I guess I could double check. It was like 45 seconds left. And then I look back over at our screen and Jack Eichel scores a power play goal. Stevenson fell to the ice, sends it over to Theodore, sends it over to Eichel, buries it. Absolute snipe past Tarasov to make it 4-1 Vegas. And the timing was so funny because it was Stamkos and then it was Eichel. So that's fun. Time is winding down. It's obvious Vegas is going to win this. And then Columbus, with like 12 seconds left, get a goal. Carson Mayer, I don't know, got his first of the season, second career goal. And Trey Fix-Wolansky got the assist for his first assist of the season. So that's just dandy. But then immediately after Columbus scores, it was uncanny the amount of time that passed between Stamkos and then Eichel scoring. And then now, Meyer and Gavrikov for LA winning it in overtime, really early in overtime. Unfortunate. Thank you for absolutely nothing, Tampa Bay Lightning. It was actually worse than nothing because I had hope at the end that you were gonna steal a point and then you don't. But hey, we gotta take care of our own, and that's exactly what we did for the 40 minutes that we came to play tonight. Absolutely, I would be more pumped about this win if it wasn't A, against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and B, swap the order of that for importance, but Hill going down with the injury. Hopefully, it was just precautionary, that's the word. And he's gonna be fine, and he'll be able to start against Nashville on Tuesday. Our next game is on Monday against St. Louis, a back-to-back. And both of those games are going to be hugely important because Nashville ahead of us in the wild card and St. Louis below us by 4 points. We have one game in hand. So this stretch is going to be extremely important for Vegas, but starting a road trip for us. And so let's have the same energy that we had for the 2 periods that we played today and take that into St. Louis and then Nashville and just run their show. Still 2 points behind LA, and that's just, it is what it is, but hey, who knows? We'll see. Toronto absolutely torched Edmonton, so thank you, Toronto. We didn't need, but St. Louis and Minnesota, we wanted that to stay in regulation, so unfortunately, overtime win for St. Louis over Minnesota is what it is. Anyways, fun stretch of the season where we're actually extremely worried about the playoffs. But that's going to be it for Game 70's Nightly Review. Thank you so much for watching and have a good night. This is weird. I don't